Here we go. Okay, we're going to zoom in.
Enhance.
Exactly. Everyone is doing this with me. You're going to take your pencil, okay? And you are going, yes, to trace the eye line. Okay? Hi. Yeah. Okay, no problem, thanks. Yep. Okay. Sorry, guys. I need you. And then you're gonna use 2 pages. Okay. Scissors are over there. When you need paper clips, let me know. Okay, sorry. You should have been tracing your eye line. Okay. So essentially, what I'm looking at right now, and I'll draw it over here. First, I see, and we're focusing on this guy, okay? First, I see a line that comes in, it goes up, and then it goes down. That is this line.
I can't even see those, Carter.
Yeah, because your
It's
screen
too bright.
brightness is like.
Okay, hang on. Is that a little better?
Yeah.
So you're going out because that's where your tear duct is. Then we come up, and then there's a divot, and then a line that comes down. That's just the top line, okay? The bottom line then connects, drops down, and then comes together, okay? So we are not doing that kind of eyeball, okay? We're not going to do that because this is too general. This is not giving us the actual lines we need, okay? So when you're drawing your line for your eyeball, we start on our dots we've already made, yes?
Yes. Man.
Okay? So from there, we're going to look relative to my eye. I cannot start my first line right here on this marker. I have to go above it because my line that I have already marked is the bottom eyelid, not the top. Does that make sense? So do not stick your eye right there. Don't do this because that, a line above and a line below, is not what we're seeing, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my bottom line right here. I'm going to start with this little line that comes down. Okay, if you've already put it in, that's great. That's all I'm going to start with. And then I'm going to round it out and come over. But look, the tear duct and my line, so my tear duct comes over that line. So I got to go over my line. Yes? Okay, let me finish this up and then I will come help you. So I'm going to go in and just kind of erase, pull this line over, and stop. Okay? Do you want me to continue on or should I wait?
Wait.
Okay, I'm going to come help.
Cues.
Yes.
Where was this paper?
Not stapler, paper clip.
Paper clip.
So in my drawer, top, there's a little box with paper clips in it. Just grab the whole box.
Okay. The heck?
Yeah, yours looks just like mine. So we're focusing on this line, it comes down, and then you see how it goes over. See how it goes over your line? So over here, it needs to go over that line too. You see what I mean? I would pull this line up just a little bit more, and you have it available here. And then you start drawing above your line. Like that.
Where?
That's line I just took. And you finish it.
sometimes she's in
Wait, so what do you mean by that?
like she usually does not say that type of stuff.
Hey, it looks like most
And
of
then all of a
us have our
sudden,
bottom line.
she's out of nowhere. I was in my room when I was there, and I'm like screaming with joy. My favorite group was
Your boy finally hooked you up. Yeah. Wait, did he send the text to you or did you send the text to her? That's terrible.
I think they
No, but like, who started the text originally?
I usually always start saying no.
They always do it in the morning. Especially this one. Oh, I think I missed the last one. They always do it in the morning. Other assemblies, they do it after. Yeah.
No, but during school started.
This one's not meant to be.
Which it was, I was tired.
As he goes on to the
Well, that was the only thing keeping me up. Because I wasn't even that old.
yeah. You know the low penny
Yeah, but we're still probably gonna make it work.
65?
Okay, it sounds to me like we're ready to move on.
Yeah.
Okay, my next line starts actually on this line. Okay, so instead of coming above, we're going to start on that line on the dot. And we're going to pull it up like I see in my picture. Down and connect. And if you look really closely, the eye actually does a little swoop right here, that line right here. So we're just,
Isn't that that?
it's an eye, like a little bit of a wrinkle.
That's his eyelash.
It is not his eyelash.
Sounds like his eyes are folding onto his face.
So that's the shape your eye should look like.
Why does it look like a
It's like more of a lemon.
Looks like a lemon.
It's like a squishy rat to me, but whatever.
so weird?
It does kind of look like a rat.
I'm gonna do so bad.
Because we are focusing on realistic drawings.
Well, now I can't unsee it.
What, seeing the rat?
Seeing a squishy rat. I can't unsee that.
Or a lemon.
Okay, let's move on to the other eye. Let's trace it first again so we get familiar with the way that our lines are looking. Okay, so now that I have traced it and I feel comfortable with what I'm doing, I'm going to come over here and I'm literally going to match what I see. Like so. And remember, you are welcome to continue adjusting as you go. You don't have to be satisfied with the first line that you draw. This is not rocket science. Okay? You're gonna have to fix it as you go, and it's okay. Okay. How we doing? Good-ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can continue adjusting as you go. Okay, if you get comfortable with these shapes, you may then put in the eyes, but only if you're happy about where everything is. And if you're like, I don't know if the eyes are big enough, you have your picture, test it. Move your measurements over. And I'm already noticing this eye is too large, so I'm going to go in and I'm just going to chisel it down. Okay. So before anybody puts in the rounded circles, I would like to discuss it with you before you begin. So if we are ready to do that, I need everybody to look up. If not, and you're still working, that's fine. I just need to know. So raise your hand if you're ready to put in the circles. Okay, let's do this. So when we're drawing eyes, okay? Most of the time, people are going to do this. Why is this wrong?
Because that's an oval?
Yes, that is not a full circle, right? A full circle would look more so like that. Do you see the difference? Okay, so we see the difference, right? So when we're working on our eyeball, we'll start with this one. Okay? You need to try and make sure that you're focusing on keeping that. And if you watch me do this, I literally continue in a circular motion. Will this even focus that close? No, not really. That's okay.
We still tell.
As long as you can see it, we're good. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and proceed to the next eyeball. Make sure that you're putting the eyes where you're supposed to see them. Don't just put in a random line. Make them relative to the space of your eyeball you've already drawn. Ooh, spooky. Has eyes.
Are you okay, Mrs. Carter?
I love drawing people. It makes me happy. Portrait and figure drawing. Yes.
What do I do next year?
Okay.
Let me check it out. Okay, we have an extra drawing. Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to slap down your line. That's going to be your anchor. Okay? And from there, there's this really cool trick where you take your paper and then you line it up. And you want to make sure you match the angle. And then you can really draw the same angle.
I would never thought of doing that.
Right. So, start with this line and then use that technique to get in those two additional lines. Okay.
This is one of those weird surrender not hurt kind of things.
Exactly. You gotta round it out. Round it out. Around here. And you just start this line.
God bless you.
Okay.
No duh.
Yeah, just like watch. I'm doing this upside down. So if I can do this upside down, you can do it right side up. Take it. And you want to round out. You gotta complete that circle.
Wait, but what about this eye shape?
Same thing. Oh, you mean the shape?
Yeah.
This guy is right there.
I feel like
Are you
looking
coming
for
to something?
not staring up.
I forgot that I didn't have. Well, my blues are in the dry cleaners right now, and tonight was for Catholic blues, so I had to like think. I'm like, okay, oh yeah, that's right. Today's photography club / cat. Got it.
It's a little squished.
It is a little squished.
Should have done it this way then.
That's okay. What I would say though for your eyeballs is they're like way too big. You see?
Yeah,
I would chisel them down.
got it.
Okay, how we doing back row? Eh? Okay. Sorry, I'm a little more right in your face. This actually looks good. Okay, what you need to do though is you gotta round it. See how like we're hitting like a corner here? Hold it in a circle and go full. Lovely.
His nose is a little too big as well if you would be doing that.
Okay, that first line looks good. You're taking your time. That's not a bad thing. Okay, watch this guy. They're different sizes. So then adjust it. Why does this one? What I would do is I would hold this one. Make this side more.
Yeah, for something.
No, you are.
Hey guys, there's a couple things that you need to remember when you're drawing. It is okay to check your sizes. A lot of you need to take a moment and reevaluate how big you have this space. There are a lot of you that are way larger. We have not put in the eyelid. So right now we're only focusing on these two spaces. Please go in and make sure that either one, they match, or two, you make them thinner. Yes? That's fine. That's fine. Whatever helps. Yeah. No, I think it looks good. And even I think I can make this guy
It's an instrument.
thinner.
It's like it's like a 3D scan from the front of the face to the back of the face.
Okay, are we ready to move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to start just slowly matching with our eyelids here. Okay. So again, I highly recommend you take and you trace your reference so you have a feel for where the lines need to be.
Can you use the shiny thing? I can't really tell what you're drawing.
I'm literally just tracing the line.
Oh, okay.
That boring old line. Dang.
I've made him look angry.
So top eyelid and the bottom one swoops way below. Do not do these lines with a hard pencil, okay? What I mean by that is do not press very hard when you're drawing, and make sure that you are not using a pencil that is above a 2B. If you are using a 6B, a 4B, a 5B, an 8B, you are using the wrong pencil. Please make sure that you're also using light pressure as you draw. So I put in one side. I'm going to go ahead and start tracing the other side. So let's zoom out a little bit so you guys can see both. Because after you guys get those lines in, we're going to go ahead and start working on his mouth. Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
There's this thing called 3-circle rule. So watch what I'm doing right now. The center has a circle. Okay. Then you have the side that has a circle. Okay. And then you have the other side that has more of an oval shape. So you see how within those 3 circles, you make the first one nice and big. Then you have your 2 sides. Then it's simply a figure 8 situation. You're going in, down, and around. Does that make sense?
Into the crinkle. Because he's an old man.
He's actually not very old.
I know, but he looks like an old man.
Right now he does.
See?
Okay, are we ready for the mouth?
No. Wait, you already added your bottom theme of colors?
Yeah, what have you been doing?
If I draw like a bunch
Struggling,
of dots,
yes.
will that give off like a skin texture?
Yes, but we will actually go over texture. We are literally going to start this drawing from the bones all the way to a fully shaded face.
Oh?
That's why this is going to take 3 weeks.
Are we gonna use the pencil? What you would call that?
A blending stump?
That.
Yes, we will be using blending stumps. I think it's fun.
I like it.
I like blending stumps.
It's better than going like this.
Yeah, because no.
People do that.
You know that I don't like that. Do not approve of your fingers being smudging tools.
Plus it like ruins the picture because like what if you're smudging the wrong spots because your fingers are too big?
Can't erase it.
Mm-hmm.
That and Q-tips I don't.
I'm okay with Q-tips, but they're not as accurate as a stump. Because a stump can be pointy. And a Q-tip can't be pointy. And that's annoying.
Yeah, you can also sharpen it when it's stuff.
Right. But you can't sharpen a Q-tip. Because it literally turns into a stick.
It looks like an old part.
Which is not helpful. Okay, can we move on now?
Yes.
It looks like an
Okay.
old part.
Awesome. So, notice how we have not bothered putting in anything in the center of his eyes, right? Okay. Can anyone tell me why that is?
Color.
Not color.
White.
Shading. We're going to get into that when we start shading, but we have to have the bones before we can put the meat on. And the meat is the shading. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, we're going to start with, I always want to say end chips, but no one ever gets that joke. You guys, see? You guys.
I couldn't hear you.
I said K, so, and chips. Queso and chips. But nobody gets that joke. Makes me sad. Did you hear me do it yesterday?
No, but I get it.
It's funny. I think it's funny. Okay.
That was so funny.
Tangent.
I forgot to laugh.
Okay. We've already put in our line for our mouth, right?
Yes.
And do I need to zoom out? Okay. No, we're good. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, again, trace your line. So come in. Trace that line. And notice it is not a straight line, right? There's curves to this line. So that's what we need to do. Because we focused on using the Cupid's bow as our center anchor, okay, you will notice if we jump down below, it's that same divot that is up top, right? So we're going to start right there, and we're going to just put in that little divot. Okay. Now, notice very carefully, this is where, if you got a ruler, that was probably smart, but I did not, so we'll see how this goes. Watch what happens when I line up my pencil to the line of the lip. Where does the end of my pencil land?
In the center of the eye.
In the center of the eye, right? So if you have your ruler, that would be a good place to mark it. However, I'm just going to do it with my pencil.
When I do it, it doesn't even hit the eye.
Bro, you're not doing it right.
Wait, what?
You gotta go straight up and down. That's fine. That's fine. So the line of the lip,
Now,
see that? So where's that spot on your eyeball?
Might have to go to the iris, the head.
Those are different for this. This is no longer.
No, still next to it.
So, your points you need to focus on here, here.
Mom and he is in TikTok Johnson black holes. I got a black hole. Can you see it?
Now, the points we're talking about is if I take the middle,
So it's not exactly.
so about right here,
Ah,
okay,
remember.
of
Yeah, it's
this
like at
space,
the corner of the
and I
iris.
bring it down. What did I just do?
You measure it.
The thing about
The lip,
the
right?
fact that he's playing on
So,
Xbox
you need
makes
to
it
make sure you have
gajillion
this
times
space.
harder for him.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for him, to be honest.
Okay.
So I'm like, you better stop playing Warzone now. Because it is not going to be good for you.
Yes, I would not rely on measurements per se though. Like numbered measurements. We'll get you caught up to, okay? Okay.
Now that we have our spot, right? Now that we've lined up our stuff and we've made a space for everything, okay? This side, it's really simple. We're up on a hill right here. We're just going to bring it down and then out. So we're up on a hill. We're just going to bring it down and out. So, watch what I do with my pencil. Can't see that? Here. Okay.
That's too big, Miss Carter.
So, if I take this line and I go up, you see where it's hitting on my eyeball? Okay? So if I take this line and I go down, you see what I just did?
I think you...
Okay? How are we feeling so far? Can we finish up the lip? Do the same process, yes? Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming.
I don't know.
I think I'm missing it. I love
Jackson? Yeah. I just, you know the dragon for Swedish? I'm just gonna get it for fun. I'm just gonna throw it over. I'm gonna be so, this is gonna be so funny. I'm gonna say good things and me dying like several times in a row.
Nothing looks sad.
I think I know.
My only wish is to do the Cobra maneuver and dodge a missile like how they did not have Su-57 did.
Outside.
And then I get gunned down immediately. Honestly, that's what they should have did if we can, well, the Cobra maneuver.
I don't like that.
These are the resources.
Right.
That's cheating.
Okay, which side looks better? Side A or side B? To see how.
But I would use this
So like this one? I could never. Whoops. he's already gonna look like a girl anyways. So. Duck?
A dog.
A duckling.
A ducky working.
Duckling. Yeah, that's what I got.
You put in the freaking
Concentrate.
Dragon, I'm coming for you.
Because of the smoke.
a ducky.
Yeah, it's bad.
Wait, what's this line for? Wait, is this for?
Okay, who has braved it and put in the other line?
No.
Okay, congratulations.
Wait,
That's
this is
fabulous.
harder.
What? Yes.
So that looks good?
I think so.
Is this the top of the lip?
Yes, this is top or the middle?
We are only drawing this line, guys.
That line?
I've said it multiple times. We are only drawing the literal opening of the mouth.
That makes more sense.
We are not focusing on the top lip. We are not focusing on the bottom lip. We are making the mouth opening.
It's the black that's in the middle.
Yes.
That makes more sense.
Okay?
It's the tiny shadow.
I asked you to trace the line that we are drawing. Okay, I just need to take like a moment to breathe. Okay.
My bad. My bad.
So, pulling this line down, because it's going to be the same thing here. Okay. That's going to help me find where my lip is going to end. Now, if you have looked at the lips, or the line, we'll break it down. This side is smaller than this side. So you need to make sure that on this side of his face, that line is just stretched a hair bit longer. Okay?
That makes sense because of where his eyes are. Like, one goes
That's
right
ex-
on the edge of the iris. And the
that
other
is-
one is like,
And he's got a slight smirk, so it's.
he's smirking at me, Mrs. Carter.
Saucy.
I'm a minor. He's a pedophile.
Whoa!
Okay. I feel like that's a little too low. So I'm just going to pull it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And erase the lines we don't need. It kind of looks like a creepy It right now.
Right? Or like a really sad, like.
Like a sad clown.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Have you heard of the sad clown? So
Pity party? Yeah.
the singer?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
You're the first person that's ever heard of it outside of me, and my husband.
Yeah, but he's got like a golden voice. I'm
Oh,
surprised more
he's
people haven't
beautiful.
heard him.
Oh,
You know,
I love that like old timey '60s vibe or
Right,
like
that's-
'50s.
That's
Oh,
my jam.
oh my gosh, it's so wonderful.
That's why he
it actually
played,
kind of creeped me out a little bit
what's
when I
his
saw it.
gosh dang it, the lead singer is Queen.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot I did
Yeah,
that.
Freddie Mercury.
Are we ready to move on?
I am.
Because I'm ready, and we only have like 10 more minutes. Okay. I told you this is gonna take 3 weeks.
We just only did the eyes and the freaking.
We gotta put in the eyebrows before we're done.
Yeah.
I know.
Hang on, first
Okay, eyebrows.
Are amazing.
We're not finishing the lips.
I did. Hurry up and finish your lips.
No, I'm talking about like the top lip and the bottom lip.
No, we're gonna do that with shading.
Oh.
We're gonna do it with shading.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, are we ready to put in the eyebrows?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Okay. It's the exact same thing that we've been doing this whole time. So if you're looking at your reference, the eyebrow begins right at the tear duct. And it ends just a little bit past the end of his eye.
Or the dot that leaves you.
Exactly. Okay? So, relative to your spacing, if we come up, we can kind of start to figure out where we want our eyebrows to be. Now, if you're like, how up high above the eye do I go? Measure it. You know these things, you have the tools. Okay?
Yeah, we have the dot right.
We know that the eyebrow is going to start here, but look how much further above. So what I am saying is measure it. You guys know how to do that now. You take the center, so from the eyebrow, bottom of the eyebrow to the top of the eyelid. You take that measurement with your finger and you find something that it matches. Mine matches right here, so I'm going to take that on my drawing and I'm going to go up, and I now know my eyebrow will not go above this line. Does that make sense? Okay. Shaping the eyebrow is a different game, but it's the same thing that we have been doing. If you are uncomfortable with the shape and you're not sure what to do, what's the best way to render that situation?
Burn
What?
the house. What?
We trace it on the reference, right? So we go over here
That's the thing.
and we trace our reference. This lead sucks.
I appreciate you started with the easier eyebrow.
Yeah, I was like, let's go here first.
It's much appreciated.
His eyebrows are kind of pointy, not gonna lie.
They look like slugs or leeches. So I have drawn in my shape. Now I'm going to go ahead and match what I drew with my pencil on my reference. And I'm just going to put in an indication of the shape of the eyebrow. Told you, it looks like a leech.
Ouch.
Or a snail without a shell.
Ah, yes, old time medicine.
This is terrible, but when you guys were a kid, did you ever put salt on the snails that were on the sidewalk?
I'm not a sadist, so no.
Oh, Miss Carter,
It made
why
an
would
interesting
you do that?
reaction, but it killed the snail.
I kept the snails till Mom yelled.
Yeah, it makes them sizzle.
Oh, that's not for kids.
Yeah, I don't recommend doing it. It's not great, but like when you're a kid, you learn things and you experiment, and it's not good.
I have a creek in my backyard.
Snail lives were lost that day.
But they'll survive in there.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, but salt. They don't survive salt.
I'm not gonna figure that out.
No, you shouldn't. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and work on my other eyebrow.
It looks like a frog.
Started on the early.
Oh, that is way different than what I got going on.
What? What was that?
I would have like different.
They are different shapes.
They are?
They're totally different shapes. But remember, we're right now just putting the indication in. We will shade it and refine the shape when we work on adding in the meat. But we can't do that till we get the rest of his face in, his hair, and his ears.
Bones first, meat second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be bones first, then tendons, then meat?
Well, the meat and the tendons in art are kind of the same thing.
Basically.
He's gonna have very saucy eyebrow over here.
Hey, yo.
Probably.
So this eyebrow starts a little bit before the tear duct, and it ends almost exactly on the little curl. So I now know that's where my eyebrow is going to go, and I want to make sure that I go no higher than this spot. So now that I have all of that in,
He really is smoking.
he is totally smirking. He has the smolder, in my opinion.
Okay, Rock, let's go.
Well, have any of you ever seen Rapunzel or Tangled?
Yeah.
At least 8 different times.
You guys are so saucy to me. I'm just trying to have fun while I draw.
This is the kind of face a guy in my 8th grade class would make all the time. In every school photo.
I give up.
That's funny. That's awesome.
This is, oh my goodness.
Whoop. Can't go that high, Mrs. Carter. That eyebrow is not that high.
One eyebrow is
You got an eyeball.
I got him on one knee for you, and then all you did is tap me on the head. Kind of offended, not gonna lie. But I can put a ring on. That's too many rings. I don't care.
Okay, I hope you got your eyebrows in.
Oh, wait.
Or at
hold
least
on.
you're working on it because you only have about like 10 minutes left.
Yep.
You said that 10 minutes
said that about
ago.
10 minutes ago.
I know. Okay.
I can't wait to
This eyebrow.
Jay, oh my god,
That circle going down, trying
And it kind of
Wait,
comes
why?
to more of a point right
Wait, what did it say?
Yep, but this eyebrow is
And that poor Richard.
No!
And all this
You
darking.
got hold up.
Oh my.
It's in the freaking shiny.
I don't know if they're like,
No.
what country, this country, man, something like that. It's in the Chinese tech street, so nobody's really going to put outside. Going down China.
Now he's going down every tech tree. Now he's I think my third tech tree might be Swedish, partly because of the damn dragon. In Sweden?
The only reason
Like,
he's
I haven't
here is
even
because of
gotten to rate two of Jake's.
Then I would happily do that with you because the reason why I don't want to do it with them is because they're always like,
I know, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna grind.
Yeah,
so kick, goodbye.
yeah. Because me and you, we play until we get up there.
Yeah,
Them,
that's what I do.
they're like, all right, let's go to 2.2.
They're like, oh, I died in that. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Let's go to 4.4, 1.1, airplane speed 1.2.
I know I'm at a low tail Sweden, and he only had like reserve tanks. I did not want to go back down in reserve, and up there I clicked China. I why not do China? And he's like, oh no, let's go to my turn. So I'm like, you almost got me to do China, my guy.
Yeah. It's insane.
You know what's really cool
I
about
don't know anymore. It's just funny.
you guys are already kind of creating your own style, and I think it's fabulous.
I like
Dude, I don't think you know how much I love that jacket. You see the 13 on the side of my jacket? Huh? Because I was stuttering on either, like, because only like focusing on two textures.
You're what? You're trying to gravitate.
What? Yeah. My boy Sav to me right now.
You have no hard time now.
No way. War Thunder, Jin, 5, D, Dragon. Dude, it has the letter 13 on it. And I'm like, you got my lucky number on there? Take my money.
No, you have not. They're buying T30 and shit. No,
The reason why I want the we all know why I want the dragon, right? I'm gonna cool. Oh, you got missiles, but can you do this? I'm gonna do that to you over in Jets, and you're just like gonna shoot me down with guns instead. Oh yeah? You got fancy missiles? Can you do this? You wanna know the stupid thing about the dragon? At all, period.
They said who needs flares when we can outrun the missiles?
It's sad because it's put in a battle rating where missiles is the primary killing force. Yeah.
What's he fighting at?
A dragon. The thing that can do the clover maneuver.
Oh, the dragon, you mean?
I like to call it the dragon because it sounds cooler.
It's a Swedish fighter jet.
Yeah. It says it right there.
The idea.
Play Warfare.
Yeah.
We know what we're talking.
The dragon is also in Rip the Dragon.
And he still got the fancy.
See, he's still flying. We're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're good. But that was me.
In my life, there's nothing that can match the racket in dogfighting. So if you go high altitude, then if this was realistic, that thing would
It is kind of realistic. Also, the funny thing is, the Draken is like the Zero, but in high jet battle, basically. Yeah.
the Draken is really
It's called the Draken. Draken.
Are these for your
Excuse me, it's the more powerful version of Alien. The most advanced fighter jet. F-22 is basic compared to its avionics systems are retarded.
That's cap. Wait, Draken this time?
You don't like How do you know he don't like you?
Oh, yeah.
How do you know? I don't know.
Who needs flares? Oh, I need a
Who needs flares when you can outmaneuver the missile?
Basically. You can borrow it.
Okay. I'm gonna ring my bell in 3 minutes.
That's color.
Before I do that, I need you to take one last look at your drawing and measure everything perfectly. Okay? Take
Yeah, I know.
2 minutes and reevaluate your drawing. Make sure everything looks great so that we can move on when we come back next week.
That looks fine.
I
Kind of.
really hate that I don't have you Friday.
Why? Literally. Oh, snap.
That just extends our fucking weeks. Dude.
We would at least be able to get in like the face.
I like the outline.
Oh, that's going to be coming in Warthog.
Yeah, I need them.
That is the most maneuverable airplane ever built without thrust vector.
Oh, I was going to say. I was going to say.
It's going to be added into the drone.
It's currently retired, but it's a single engine short range medium combat.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah.
Speed 1,300. So for like the sketches for portrait and fig, could I do like bone? Of course, do like flesh, to like skin. I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's realistic.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, because there's no restriction other than it needs to look realistic.
Okay, because I didn't really want to do it.
Yeah,
No.
do it.
How would I, like,
Color blend?
not all of it is around the outer circle of
Yeah.
it, it's like a brownish blackish.
Right, so you're gonna pull your brown out further and then with that like bluish color that's here, like almost grayish. So you're gonna wanna get like a light blue and then you're gonna wanna blend it in with the black. Does that make sense? And you wanna go circle motions. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Take it.
Yep. I should probably stop this recording.